metropolis of Lagos, where the streets are lined with ambition and opportunity, one entrepreneur stands out among the crowd. Meet Ruth Ehabo Osarenuma, the visionary force behind Rio's mobile car wash, a revolutionary concept that's changing the way we think about car maintenance. But who is Ruth Ehabo Osarenuma, the mastermind behind this innovative venture? Born from a diverse background, Ruth's journey to entrepreneurship is as unique as it is inspiring. A fashion model, a flight attendant, a master's degree holder in human resources management, a prolific blogger, and now an entrepreneur, Ruth wears many hats with grace and determination. But what sets Ruth apart is her unwavering ambition and her deep-rooted belief in the power of entrepreneurship to create positive change in society. She sees the business world not just as a place for profit, but as a canvas for meaningful innovation and community impact.
Hi, my name is Ruth Ehabo Osarenuma. I'm the founder and chief executive officer of Glamour Global. At Glamour Global, we supply beddings like bed sheets, duvet, and pillowcases. Also, we run a mobile car cleaning services. So Glamour Global offers a car wash that comes to you. We deal on interior vacuum, exterior wash, engine wash, buffing, and waxing. And also we wash couches and rugs. At Glamour Global, we also run an auto mechanic repair service. So anywhere you may be, just book an appointment with us. We'll come to you. Car wash now easily accessible. Some of the challenges we're facing as Glamour Global is cash flow and staffing. With our cash flow, sometimes we usually spend money on our mechanical repairs for the bus. Then for staffing, it's very difficult to have an experienced staff for the car wash. What gives me excitement and joy concerning my brand, Real Mobile Car Cleaning Services, is the positive feedbacks from our clients. So I love the feedbacks because it encourages me to do better. You know, when they come back and say they love our service, I love that part from them. So yeah, I love the positive feedbacks from my clients.
Hi Rio, welcome.
Nice to meet you.
It's my pleasure. Tell me about your product, your service. What do you do?
Alright, I run a mobile car cleaning service. We come to you, it's an home service. So Real Mobile Car Cleaning Services is a brand that deals on interior washing, engine wash, exterior, boot vacuum. We also run automobile mechanical repairs. So also, I will say that sometimes we wash rugs and couches. It depends on the customer or the client. So that's basically it for now.
So would you categorize yourself as a cleaning service company or an auto cleaning service company?
Auto cleaning service company.
Okay, and you mentioned that you do repairs as well.
Yes.
So that's part of the cleaning service that you provide?
Basically, it's mostly everything about cars.
Okay.
That's why that mechanical perspective on it is in it.
So even the mechanic comes to your house
Yes.
to fix your car?
Yes.
Okay, that's very interesting. How long have you been doing this?
For 2 years, sir.
And how has business been so far?
It's been interesting, but you know, it's not always smooth. You know, roller coaster sometimes.
If it was smooth, it wouldn't be a business. So tell me, when you say it's not been smooth, what do you mean by that, like in terms of the challenges?
Okay, sometimes I have challenges with cash flow or challenges with staffs, basically.
Okay. So staff challenges, unfortunately, in our situation will always continue.
Okay.
So the reason why that happens is because there will always be somebody that feels that they can do it themselves, or there's somebody else that's offering a slightly better package than you. And because of the economic hardship, people will always prioritize big and overpower companies.
Okay.
One way to offset some of that risk is basically to maybe hire 1 or 2 interns and kind of train them into the job so you have more hands that you need. But that obviously comes at a cost.
I never thought about that, but that's a nice idea.
So that is one way to just maintain the flow. So if you know that like every 3 months or so you lose one person, you need to kind of make a provision for one person in the pipeline that kind of can move up in that and replace that loss. But anyway, this is not an HR podcast, so let's focus on the cash flow now. Explain to me what the cash flow issues are.
For my cash flow, I would say with the car wash, like the vehicle, the bus, I always have, should I say, mechanical issues. It just comes up because we can't predict. Even if I check, it just comes up and I end up, fixing it, and before I know, like money loss. So I always get that issue, like always, like I face that issue every time. So I don't know how to say it, but I cannot predict when the bus break down, when the bus won't break down, because it seems quite okay before we move. But along the line, it just,
So the most bankable businesses in the world, whether you go to a bank or you go to stock market to raise, the number one criteria for anybody to invest in any business is predictability. Nobody can see tomorrow, but everybody likes to pretend, or at least like to have the information that is able to give you some insight into performance. Now, the best indicator for what is going to happen tomorrow is questioning what happened yesterday. So by that, you said you've been doing business for 2 years. To give you an idea, in 2 years, if you create a chart on Excel and you say that in January, year 1, I spent so much on repair. February, I spent so much on repair. March, April, May. And you average that cost out over 2 years, it will give you an approximate value of how much money likely you're going to spend next month. Right? And then what you do is, as part of your business model, as part of how much you charge your customers, or how much it is that you have to make provision for that money that you're going to use on repair and maintenance of your vehicle. So if you make, let's say, 100K this month, and it shows that after salary and after everything, you now have to keep 30K aside for vehicle repair. Even if the vehicle has not broken down, you cannot spend that 30K. You have to now just leave it there, because it's likely that next month you may get a 50K bill, not even 30K, because it's now been 2 months. So that provision that you make, it's called a provisional expense. You make a provisional expense and keep it aside. You don't touch that money. The issues usually happen when you make 100K, you've paid people the salary, and you're left with 50K, and you say, okay, now I'm going to spend it on marketing, or I'm going to draw myself, I'm going to take some more money because I now have my rent due, or whatever else is there. So these are kind of things that you have to be able to predict and build the expense for it. So let's say, roadworthiness, for example, or the licensing for commercial vehicles that you require for branding their business, repeated cost that Lagos State charges. You have to plan that money as an expense, because you now have 2 years worth of data. So that is very valuable. If you know how you have spent money over 2 years, use that as a format to predict what next year's going to look like, and then not touch that money. And if you feel like the money is tight, then you now need to adjust your pricing to reflect that reality.
Wow.
Does it make sense?
It makes a lot of sense.
Okay, good. If you have any follow-up questions, please, I encourage you to ask if you want me to explain more.
Okay, I would like you to explain that jotting part again. Like, you have to take notes of your expenses, like you need to go back.
So currently your expenses, how do you get paid? You get paid on bank?
Yes, transfers.
And you pay from your bank? You do transfers, or do you withdraw cash?
No, from my bank, I transfer.
So jotting down is very important. But if you don't have that, so anybody can basically just take a pen and paper, write down your expense, or basically the description, and then you have 2 columns, which is money coming in and money going out. And you can just kind of like column that you're spending, you put over there, and at the end of the page, as long as you have more money coming in than going out, business is good, right?
Okay.
If your money going out exceeds the money coming in, then you have a problem. So if you have like a laptop, you can do it on Excel. If you don't have it, you can even do it with pen and paper. 100 years ago, our parents, grandfather, they used to do it with pen, right? So 2000 years ago, they used to do it with stone, but they still noted what was coming in and going out. That's what you have to do. This is the most important thing that you can do for your business. You cannot run it on a month-to-month basis, which means that if you've had a good month, you've doubled your numbers on car wash at home, you're going to celebrate and have a party. No, it's when you have to plan for when the car breaks down. You have to plan for like the vehicle renewal. You have to plan for fuel pricing going up. You have to plan that salary you're paying today, that maybe the salary is going to go up. Because now they're talking about minimum wage.
Yeah.
So if they increase minimum wage, that's going to change your...
It's going to change so many things.
But if you had, let's say, all the money that you have been collecting and not taking, if you had that money kept aside, it would have helped you battle this out. So that's why it's called a cash reserve, because you need to be able to dig into it when there is pressure. It's very, very important. The mistake that a lot of young entrepreneurs make is they feel that anything that is remaining is for them. You need to put yourself on a salary. That is a fact. You can do a profit sharing with yourself at the end of the year. So let's say at the end of the year you have ₦1 million left. After your salary, after everything, because you need to eat, you need to provide for yourself. So you take a salary, you fix that amount and you collect that on a monthly basis. But at the end of the year, you have a fixed amount. Let's say you have ₦1 million that is just there. And your projected expense, what we spoke about earlier, is around, let's say, 300, 400K. You can, at that point in time, take $500,000 out and say, now this one is for me, that's my bonus. It's called a dividend. Pay yourself a dividend, and you can leave the 300K that you think you're going to project. You leave the other 150 or 200K as a reserve. That anything unexpected happens, that you have the money, that you're not putting money back from your pocket. A business has to pay you. You cannot be paying
the business. I get that.
Right? So it's all about just some small habits that you have to create, some discipline that you have to bring into your management of these, of the way the money comes in and goes out of your business.
Okay.
And there's no reason why this business cannot be, well, it already is profitable, I'm sure, but it cannot be sustainable. Because profit is not the same thing as cash flow. They are two very different things. Business can be profitable, but if there's no cash, there is no business tomorrow.
Thank you.
Do you have any further questions for me?
No.
Is there anything else I can help you with on other aspects of your business?
Not seeing for now.
How do you do your marketing?
Online social media campaigns.
Okay. And social media campaign you do on IG?
Yes, on Facebook, YouTube, sometimes TikTok.
So these are paid adverts.
Yes.
So paid adverts, again, you're paying in dollars, which means that the amount that you're spending on a monthly basis is not fixed. So these are all called variable expenses. And what you need to do is, again, just project, imagine what it would be next month. So the best minds in the business right now are projecting that Naira will be 1850, 1750, 1850 by the end of this year. It's at 1500, 1450 to 1500 range right now, but that's where they predict it will be at the end of this year. It could be wrong, but it's okay, because if there's wrong, that means you have more Naira in your account. You can pay yourself the dividend we spoke about. But if they are right, then you are now 300 Naira out of your pocket of the recent advertising product.
Okay.
Right? So remember that you have to be able to predict as much about your business as possible, and it is based on the idea. You don't predict from thin air, you predict it based on your expense. So go pull out your bank statements, even if you have to go to the bank and ask them for statements for 2 years, pull it out and try and go through them line by line and and see what it is that you're spending on it, how frequently, and try and build a understanding, for lack of better words, of where the money is being spent and how much is your projected expense. And according to that, from this month or next month, we need to start keeping money aside, and we will not face any cash flow challenges from that point on.
Wow. I love this advice.
Well, I appreciate it. Talk to me about the upholstery washing. So do you do sofa washings?
Interior washing. Interior is like inside of a car. The exterior is outside. So interior vacuum, have a vacuum inside the car. Then exterior wash outside. Then engine wash. That engine wash is very tricky. Like you have to mind the wires, you cover some space before you wash engine. Then also boot vacuum. Then I don't know, like some cars are different when it comes to boot vacuuming, so you have to be very careful and gentle. And also the rugs or couches too, depends on the sizes when we give price.
You want to look at business models that are adjacent to car wash. The rugs and the sofas, great idea. You could probably sell car air fresheners, because you're already going to people's houses and just say, oh, if you have another 500, you can use car air freshener. You use essential oils for that. So that's another idea. The add-on services in terms of sometimes they need seat covers because their seats are looking old and tired. So these are the kind of things that you want to be able to pitch when your people are there. And the way that you do it is you don't buy the inventory, because if you buy the inventory, then it doesn't move your stock. So you have to kind of like, they want seat covers, or they want steering covers, or they want to change their wipers or things like that. If there's an upsell potential, then you need to kind of get that really quick and get it to the client. And you can incentivize the people that are washing the car to be the ones to do the return of every wiper you sell. I'll give you this much extra. So then they have the interest to talk to the client about it. So now what you need to think about is what else can you provide in addition to just washing the car itself for your clients, and maybe add that to your revenue.
But we sell products too.
Okay, good.
Like car wash soaps, car wash spray, like the couch spray. So sometimes the oil, I think car wash, is it fuel ejector or something like that? We sell that too.
Okay, good. So now I think that the time has come for you to now start thinking about what else you can start selling.
Okay.
Right? So Rio, it was a pleasure talking to you.
It's a pleasure meeting you, sir.
Yes. I hope you're able to get those bank statements.
Yes, I'll go through them.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.